Okay, so మనం ఇప్పుడు we are going to talk about API now. Okay, yesterday why we discussed about the different type of files అంటే which means we have use of those files in a API.
Yes.
Okay, so API. So where can we see the output? Like so if I say something is there in the air, which means that should be some proof. Some proof should be there. Okay. Okay. If something is in the air, if I told you, you are not able to see. But some specific tools are there to see with that. With that, we can see that object in the air. Okay. Sometimes ఎలా ఉంటుందంటే లైక్ కొన్ని గాల్లో ఉంటాయి బట్ కనిపించవు. ఓకే, బెస్ట్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ సెల్ అది టీవీ రిమోట్లో తీసుకుంటాను. లేదు, దీంట్లో తీసేసిన. If I tell you, so I am clicking here. Are you able to see the light?
No.
Is there any light blinking? Now see. See here. See there?
No.
Here you can see some light is blowing, some light is blinking. Okay, so is this light is not actually visible? No, we are unable to see. Okay, similar API also we have specific tools to see this light. What tool we used? Camera to see this light.
Yes.
Okay, otherwise we can't see this light. Okay, in a similar way, if we want to deal and we want to see the output, then we can use the different tools. Okay, those are tools. API tools. Okay, by using these API tools we can send the response. We can send the request. So what we discussed mostly, we'll send a request.
Database.
No, we'll send the request to the API. API deals with a database. That doesn't bother me.
UI.
UI will send the
Request API.
API will give the response to the UI. API. Okay. but I want one thing, brother. Like before configuring APIs to the UI, I want to check these APIs are working fine or not. So obviously we need to use from the UI only. Using is a different, testing is a different. Okay. Now we are using the Facebook and Gmails, but in a user point of view we are thinking and we are using. But when it comes to the testing point of view, will be different, right?
Yes.
Okay. So in that way, so we need to test the APIs whether it's working fine or not. If it is working fine, then only it will come to the UI. Okay. So I can use from UI, but I can test from UI as well. So like a user I can test. ఒక యూజర్ లాగా నేను టెస్ట్ చేయొచ్చు. ఇప్పుడు ఫర్ సపోజ్ ఏదైనా ఇప్పుడు లాగిన్ ఫంక్షనాలిటీకి ఒక ఏపీఐ వచ్చేసి కన్ఫిగర్ అయ్యింది. నేను లాగిన్ పైన ఎంటర్ చేశాను, యూజర్ నేమ్ పాస్వర్డ్ ఎంటర్ చేశాను, సబ్మిట్ బటన్ కొడతాను. నేను ఇక్కడ యూఐలో నెట్వర్క్ ట్యాబ్ ఒకటి చూపించాను. అందులో ఏపీఐ ఉందా లేదా, ఏం రెస్పాన్స్ వస్తుంది, ఏం కథ చూడొచ్చు. బట్ వాళ్ళు వెన్ దే make this API, they won't configure to the UI at that point of time. సో వాళ్ళు తయారు చేసినప్పుడు వాళ్ళు డైరెక్ట్గా ఈ యూఐకి కన్ఫిగర్ చేయరు. కన్ఫిగర్ ఏంటి, సెట్ చేయడం కన్ఫిగర్. ఓకే. బిఫోర్ దట్ ఓన్లీ వీ నీడ్ టు టెస్ట్ దిస్ API. ఓకే. హౌ వీ కెన్ టెస్ట్ this is a obviously individual part. No one can see. So with a specific set of tools, by using specific set of tools, okay, one tool, API tool, this is the API tool. Without using, we can directly send the request to the API. Okay. And we can get the response from API.
Yes.
Without using the UI, we don't need of UI. So directly by using the API tools, we can trigger the request. From the API, we'll get the response. Okay. So for that, we are using the different type of tools. Everybody using different tools. Okay. So the very first one is a Postman. Postman is a tool. So manam sending request, getting the response through the Postman, we can do it. Like that. We have one more, SOAP UI. Insomnia. Okay. So by using all these three tools, okay, by using all these three tools, we can send the request and we can get the response. Okay. There is one more one. There we can get the response only, not request anamata. Browser, any browser. So there we can get the response, but we cannot send the request. Okay. So these are the API tools. These are the API tools. So we can send the request to the API.
To the API from the.
We'll get the response from the API. From the browser, we can get the response only from the API. Okay. ఇప్పుడు ఇది కదా. నెక్స్ట్ next what it is. So we are not going to talk about all these two, all these two. So PUI and insomnia, but we'll mostly talk about Postman and browser also. Will use sometimes to see the response, only response, not sending the request. Okay, sending the request and getting the response through the Postman only response
Browser.
browser. Okay, now um, now we'll open the Postman. Okay, so I'll show you how to download the Postman. So we need to search for the Postman. Postman download in a browser. Okay, then you will get the first option. Okay, you'll get the first option. So here you need to see which bit it is. Okay, 64-bit or 32-bit. So laptops was made these two categories. So obviously this is Windows. This is Windows. In a Windows we have 32 and 64 different bits. So we can check what kind of laptop ours is in. Okay, so we can so you can come here. Okay, so there you can see this PC. So in a File Explorer, what window it is? This is a File Explorer window. You can see this PC. Right click on it, properties. You can see these properties. Okay, if you come down, these are the laptop properties. Device name is the desktop, C0HD IVI. Installed RAM. We used to talk about
16 GB.
RAM, right? Laptop also we have RAM, 16 GB RAM. Okay, and so system type. You can see the system type. What is the system type?
16 bits.
64-bit.
64 bits.
Okay, at the time of downloading the this one as well, you can see 64-bit or 32-bit. So if your laptop is 32, then you can see 32 here. Then you need to download the 32-bit related one. Okay, so directly we have 64-bit. Just we need to click on it. Just we need to save it. Okay, here we have save button, so that is not visible in recording. Okay, you just click here. So to show this one in a recording, but this, yeah. So you go to the downloads. Go to the downloads. You can see this one is downloaded. Okay. You just need to install this in your machine. Okay. So you can go to the show in folder. Obviously we can go, or else there also you can directly click.